We're back to the Total Education Celebrity Show, powered by the Beach Lifestyle Celebrity segment, TotalTutor.net for more information. Twitter, Total Tutor, Neil S. Haley, Facebook. And I've been hearing great things about this guy from some very unbelievable sources in L.A. And my mentor and also business partner GJ Reynolds and co-host of Beach Lifestyle Radio said, I have to talk to this guy. And I know some of his family, so I'm looking forward to having a conversation with him. So I want to welcome to the program Stevie Henderson. Stevie, how are you?
I am doing great. Aloha. It is a pleasure to be on the show. Pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. I'm excited to talk to you, especially, again, any career, especially I was a former professional wrestler. I always look at specifically, did I really want to do this my entire life? So, Stevie, when you were a child, did you always want to be a musician or not?
What a beautiful question. I was raised, and let me say that I was raised to be the doctor of the family, and sort of had two split passions in my life growing up in terms of, I guess, an intellectual capacity. One was medicine, and the other was music. And so I had always had the insane passion to create, and like the immense passion to play music, perform music, and write music. And that was just something that was a part of my daily life, just because of my family background and sort of how it is that I grew up. Then I had this whole other side of school that was really good. And so the answer is, it's been a process.
A process of telling, I don't know if I want to be a physician. I really love the art of entertaining. And so when you were a kid, basically you're pushed academically in school, but yet you wanted to go and go ahead and entertain people, right? Go ahead, listen to music. Go ahead and sing and do whatever.
I had all the right support. It was just a matter of choosing somewhere in there of what I truly wanted to do.
And especially growing up in Hawaii, Stevie, again, there are some fantastic musicians there, and that are very, very successful. So you had the ability to watch many talented people that, in a very intimate setting, not like 20,000 people going to see musicians. And how did that help you in your process of deciding but also learning from them?
It was an amazing experience. Growing up, I grew up in a very small little town called Hana, Maui, which is probably like the equivalent of an insanely small rural village, in Samoa or Tonga, an island of the Pacific. And while going there, I began playing music and writing music at like age 12, and I got started getting mentored and like taken in and under my uncles and aunties who were all musicians. And just that's how I learned music, was that intimate sort of mutual sharing of a musical experience, musical tradition, and it really, really put me into a place where I learned how to be grateful for what music is and what music does, and how it unites. And that's been sort of the baseline philosophy. I think it's been one of the greater parts of my musical philosophies grew up from that place.
So what type of music are you involved in it? Especially growing up, you said your family was in musicians. What type of music would you say your style is?
My style, let me see. I would like to think that musically I can be limitless and go into any genre that I would want to truly explore. Right now, so maybe this is a better question from like what I would understand for myself would be like what it is that I'm doing now. I think right now, it's like Justin Timberlake and Stevie Wonder had like an electro indie soul kid. Like that would be me.
And that's a surprise, Stevie, because again, the musicians that your family, and also musicians that you idolized in Hawaii weren't like that, right?
Yeah, it's a very different. Yeah, exactly. It's I think I got turned on to a lot of different things growing up, both from the intimate acoustic side as well as from the massive mainstream, and also my immediate network while I was, as a young child, sort of was already in those circles. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, when did you decide this is going to be what I'm going to do? This is what my dream is. What age did you say?
Junior year at Stanford University. I was studying. I was trying to double major, doing a human biology major in neuroscience, and sort of focusing on neuroscience, and doing music. And I had just recently returned from a 2-year sort of service mission in Cambodia, and was new, focused on what I wanted to do. And somewhere in junior year, after some insane classes, and all of them which I loved, and playing music, between trying to juggle both, I was like, you know what? If I had one to juggle, it would be playing music. I would rather do that than everything else.
Wow.
And it was the choice. That's why because I had the sort of intellectual love for neuroscience, I decided, hey, I'm going to study music differently from everybody else that I've known. Every other form, I'm going to study it from every angle possible. So I sort of created a different kind of music study, in which I was doing music cognition, music in the brain, computer science and music, physics and music, mathematics and music, perceptual theory, business modeling, the whole nine, entrepreneurship and music. Every angle of music that I could try to get my hands on. That's what I studied.
So it's surprising, Stevie, because again, not many people can go to Stanford, honestly. Okay, not many people can go to Stanford. Not many people could study neuroscience, and yet you took the artist role. You took what your passion was, and it's and it's interesting. And I'm going to bring up certain people out there believe, oh, you should never focus on your passion, and I disagree completely. And I hear these people, and honestly, do you think they're happy always being? And they call themselves these great successful entrepreneurs and growth coaches. Yet they never focused on what their passion was. And I heard it. I'm not going to knock them today, Stevie. But I'm going to say for you, being an intellectual like yourself, Stanford, again, for our listeners out there, that especially education, know that Stanford's a very difficult school to get into. And you have you have such great talents. But your passion drives you towards music. Now, the most successful people in the world in the area of art don't always get rich, okay? Some do, but others don't, that are authors, that are musicians, that are painters, that are any type of creative avenue that really focuses on their passions and what drives them. So, Stevie, how does your family feel about this decision you made to go a different route? And I'm listening to you, I see that passion's definitely there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I did finish. So maybe this is maybe see here. So chronologically, I am probably my second year out of finishing my master's degree with Stanford. So I got 2 years. I finished a later one, and my family has been down from the beginning. There is no more grateful a brother or a son than me for my family, and everything that they have been and continue to be for me. They have been behind me. They have had my back in the most crazy circumstances sometimes, and they love me. They're behind me 100%. So my family's amazing.
And the good news is you have that background. So you got your master's degree in what, Stevie?
I got a master's degree in music science and technology with an emphasis in cognitive neuroscience and music.
Okay, and so you took your undergrad focus in neuroscience and put it together into something else. So I see Stevie not just as you want to be this recording artist that makes a lot of money. You want to be the one that's behind the scenes doing all the other things once your run is over. As we all know, the different people like Neil Citron, who had a Grammy Award from Quiet Riot, yet he got his Grammy not from Quiet Riot, and he went and focused on something else. There's certain people that are involved in but they have another jack of trades that really make them successful. So give us an update of where your music's going, and I guess then the next question I have is probably going to be involving where do you see yourself in the next 10 years entrepreneur-wise, because you're not just seeing yourself as an artist, because lots of artists are starving. Trust me, New York Times best-selling authors, Stevie, are starving. There are musicians, actors that are starving. So tell us. First of all, let's find out what's going on with your projects, and then about what your goal in 10 years will be.
Well, people who have been inspiring me recently are people like just the models in which they sort of live and the way in which they've approached their art. Are people like Jack Coffey. He's out of Stanford, went to the same department I went to, but just a little bit earlier. And went and started a YouTube channel called Pomplemousse. It was one of the first YouTube entrepreneurs kind of in that realm, and with music. And then now just began a company called Patreon, which is insanely beautifully cool. So he's definitely on my inspiration list of sort of where I'm like looking to be. Ashton Kutcher, he's a really big VC, and as well as a successful actor. Basically, people who, whatever it is that they want to truly do, they do it to their best. They just love it. They do it. And that's kind of how I see myself, that I want to be that continually. I have that drive to just, whatever it is that I touch, I'm going to make sure that I do it the absolute best that I can do it.
That's fantastic.
Myself and improve myself to that. Yeah. And
what would you also say that what is your latest projects? Like, do you have an album out right now, or what's going on musically?
Oh yeah, there's some. we've got YouTube video. We just launched the YouTube channel. We're gonna have a beautiful, fun little rebrand that's going to be coming around for the first quarter of this upcoming year. We've got an amazingly cool new record label project that's going to be insanely beautiful. Over the next maybe 6 months or so. And I just did a full single release rollout. It was very successful and are sort of in the works back end with a bunch of independent labels as well as some major ones. And I've just been moving as the train moves, yeah.
Do you have a shot at getting picked up by a label? What's the news on that?
Well, so yeah, we're going to do things a little bit different, and I can't necessarily talk about all my cards right now.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, we're definitely doing things in a different way. We've decided that we'd like to learn and take from the best models that we've been growing up with over the long course of this, musical journey of life, and see if we can put together something that might be custom suited to us. Yeah. So there's a sort of a label entity in which things are going to be running through. That is going to be really fun to start and move forward with, and to sort of be, a flagship for in ways. And from that on, who knows where we're going to go.
Okay.
The possibilities of the future in the very near future are pretty limitless, my friend.
I understand completely, Stevie. So where can our listeners find information on you and, I guess, listen to your music and learn more about you?
You can find me right now at www.stephenhendersonmusic.com. And from there, you got all my Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook. We just hit 10,000. 11,000 on Facebook, which is really awesome. We did it in 2 weeks. It was super cool, awesome. Organic, beautiful. And from the single release rollout, we're super excited for all of the people who have been so kind in their support to us, and we're just very grateful. But yes, www.stephenhendersonmusic.com.
All right, and for people that are going to listen to this interview, because you got a huge fan base, again, beachlifestyle.com. You also go to simplyg.com and my website, totaltutor.net. A bunch of different areas to find us. Stevie, it was a pleasure. Definitely going to have you back on in a couple months to give us an update. When you have some big news, you call me, and you're back on, all right?
All right, will do. Thank you so much, New York. It's a pleasure.
All right, take care. All right, take care, Stevie. Okay, bye-bye. You're listening to the Beach Lifestyle Celebrity segment on the Total Tutor Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.